Hello, my friend. Welcome to the show. I am obviously Lou Mongello. Thank you so very much for joining me tonight on, it sounds like an ABC after-school special, on a very special sort of WDW Radio Live. If you are watching live, grab a snack, grab a blanket, get on the couch, invite a friend, tag them in the comments below. The more the merrier, I think, especially since I'm sitting here by myself talking to you and the door, because there's nobody else in here but me. I'm not a crazy person. I just play one on Facebook Live. If you're watching on the replay, don't forget to join us every Wednesday right here at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Migraine and all, I am super excited for tonight to see you guys. We have a lot to talk about. Some good, some sad. Obviously, I am representing tonight in full Spider-Man regalia. I almost brought out the Spider-Man Snuggie, but it's 900 degrees outside in Florida, and trust me, you don't want to see that, believe me. But I have all of my Spider-Man goodies behind me and beside me, because certainly we need to talk about Stan Lee tonight. It's good to see so many of you. I'm happy you guys are digging the shirts. I had a bunch of Spidey shirts. I wanted to go old school tonight and go OG, original Spider-Man, because that's sort of where I live. And if you see a lot of the stuff on my wall, that's sort of where I live, is back in the old, original, amazing Spider-Man days. Brian Donovan says it's 32 degrees. If you put a 1 in front of that, Brian, that's about the temperature here in Florida. It's still pretty. It is still pretty toasty, although supposedly we're going to get a little bit of a cool down tonight. But yeah, lots to talk about tonight. Certainly want to take some of your calls as well a little bit later on in the show. Let me just fire this up. Maybe we'll even take them beforehand as we talk about the first unfortunate news. You know, it's funny when things happen about and for and by and to celebrities. I don't normally get affected. There are 2 times I remember as a kid growing up that the deaths of 2 celebrities caused an outward emotional reaction. And one for some reason was John Belushi, because I remember watching Saturday Night Live, staying up late. When I say kid, I don't mean super young, but watching John Belushi and just remembering how much he made me laugh and how incredibly talented he was. The other one was John Candy. 2 Johns, 2 late night Johns. That didn't sound right. 2 late night comedians and people whose movies I admired affected me, and we sort of knew that that Stan Lee, because of his age, and we saw he was no longer doing comic conventions and things like that. Unfortunately, his health had started to deteriorate. Even if you've ever followed him on social, he was very active in terms of doing short form videos and things like that, and he had unfortunately started to get very frail. I mean, the guy was 95. He was born back in, if my math is correct, I think he was born in 22. Obviously, I'm sure many of you who are Stan Lee or Marvel fans know that was not his real name. He was Stanley Martin Lieber, and he sort of shrunk it down to get away from having to use his last name. But he was so influential, I think, not just in Spider-Man and comic book nerds. And I think it's important that we recognize his impact on pop culture and some of the things that we get to enjoy today. I'm a firm believer that the MCU and what we have in terms of the Netflix, the ABC, and certainly the Marvel films would not have happened, obviously, without Stan Lee. And I think he was not just brilliant in terms of making the comic medium mainstream, but also was very, very gifted at making himself the face of the company and self promotion. He was not the owner of Marvel. That was Marvin Goodman, who was the original creator, but he was very much the face of it. And beyond just Spider-Man, he and others, and we'll talk about him and the way he worked with others and included others, created just a few things you may have heard of: Iron Man, X-Man, Hulk, Thor, Daredevil, Doctor Strange, Black Panther, Ant-Man, as well as countless other characters. He worked with, artists like Steve Ditko and Bill Everett, but certainly Spider-Man was far and away the most popular, I think, to a certain degree, still is. But one of the things I loved about Stan as a kid who read his comics, right? And I have an entire shelf of, some of the early stuff from Stan. This was always one of my favorites. Bring on the bad guys. I loved the storytelling about the villains was, and maybe this is something that I didn't realize until right now was, I look at people who were influential on me by the things they did, their value system, their belief system. Obviously, clearly, Walt Disney has had a life-changing effect on me, and I think maybe to a certain degree Stan Lee did, because one of the things that I used to love about Stan, maybe I'll find one of my old I quickly can't find one of my old Spider-Mans. Hold on. So one of the things that Stan did was in the original in his original runs of comics, look, when I do this show, the reason why I love live so much is because of this, because of the real-time interaction, being able to see and hear from you. That's one of the things he did. He created what he called the Marvel Bullpen Bulletin. Wow, this is so old. And they published not just letters from fans and readers, but let me see if I can find it. Oh, I love the old comics because I love the smell and the feel, and I love the old ads as well. This one's a little bit more delicate. I should have picked a little bit of a newer one or one that's in better condition, or I should have had this. Anyway, he had something called the Marvel Bullpen Bulletin, where he would address and I think really create community and conversation in a time when this didn't exist. He talked about not just what stories were coming, but I think lessons to be gleaned from them, things he wanted to do in terms of messaging to and with, and I think that helped create the community. I think things like that laid the groundwork for what we're doing here in terms of the online interactions between creators, in his time, artists, and consumers. But so for somebody like me, things like that bullpen and that ability to be able to reach out and connect with the person who was creating something that you enjoyed is sort of what's happening now, right? It allows us to have this online community and conversation. And I think, look, if you ever talk to anybody, go back to any interview that I've ever done with somebody at Disney, whether they are an artist, an animator, a producer, a musician. When you start to talk to them about their work, the very first thing that they do is share the credit with other people. And that's one of the things that Stan did very, very well. It was called the Marvel Method, where he helped to promote the creators and the writers and the artists. Anybody who had their fingerprints on a project, he would list them as part of the team. He did not take full credit for all those things. So Johnny House was talking about, Stan's soapbox, where it would be in the letter section. I probably sent, as a kid, maybe a dozen letters in, because I wanted to see that. I wanted Stan Lee to read something that I had sent. I also wanted Lisa Welchel from Facts of Life to respond. She never did either. That's neither here nor there. But one of the things I loved about Stan's character, especially Spider-Man, and the reason why to this day I gravitate to him as much as I do, is in a time when there were heroes like, Superman and Batman and Wonder Woman, he created real-world heroes that were real people that had real problems. And when he created Spider-Man, what I loved about it was he wasn't a teenage sidekick like a Robin. He was the hero, but he was a real kid that had real problems that, like I still can relate to. And Peter Parker and Spider-Man and so many other characters. Look at Iron Man, right? They're flawed. They're superheroes in costume, but they are flawed humans, much the way we all are. But they still, at their core, Peter Parker, nerd, I check off that box, always wanted to do the right thing. Maybe they went about it the wrong way, but in their heart of hearts, they always wanted to do the right thing. They were not, other than like Thor, they were not, although he's flawed too, they were not, gods and people from other planets. They were real world people, whether it's Scott Lang or Hank Pym from Ant-Man or Tony Stark or Peter Parker or even Steve Rogers. They all, Iron Man enjoys an occasional juice box. He does. That's true. But that's part of what makes them flawed. And again, not sort of do an entire Stan Lee show, although I could and I would. And I would love to hear from you guys, although I don't know why Skype is not letting me log in tonight. Whoops, let's try this again. Oops. I think that I don't want to overstate, but I also don't want to minimize what Stan Lee did. And I think in time, history will look back on Stan Lee, and it might take a while, and be included alongside names like a Roddenberry, like a George Lucas. Yes, dare I say, maybe even in a Walt Disney, and that's not heresy or sacrilege. What I mean is, if you look at Stan Lee's direct influence on pop culture and where we are today with 10 years and 20 films in a Marvel Cinematic Universe that lives not just on screen, but on a Disney streaming service that's coming, on Netflix, on ABC, the popularity, the one thing that I think Stan did well was not just contribute to comic book culture and promotion, but I think it's his impact on fandom and allowing fans to express themselves and be part of this community can't be understated. Things that he was doing in terms of impact and helping to create community, his presence at comic conventions until the guy was literally 94 years old was amazing. And I think, too, something that can't be lost and shouldn't be lost, and I think wasn't lost based on the popularity of films like Black Panther, is, we talk about these comics coming out in the 60s and the 70s. He not only created and brought to the forefront, for example, African-American characters, a sense of diversity. Luke Cage, Black Panther were superheroes in and of themselves in the 60s and 70s. And I think he used that Marvel soapbox that one of you brought up earlier to comment on social issues like racial bigotry, like bullying, like things that needed to be talked about. He used that platform. He used that attention from not just kids, but older kids and teenagers and eventually adults to address them in a way that I think was important, and maybe reaching people, especially younger people, that probably weren't being reached otherwise. So, but that's neither here nor there. I did not mean to go off on a comic book tangent. Stan Lee, I do love you, man, and I miss you, and I appreciate you, as well as whoever sent this to me so long ago. I had to get a huge ladder to get up there to get him down, but I did. I miss Stan Lee, and I appreciate Stan Lee, and as somebody who, I always said I would never sort of line up, I've never lined up to meet a celebrity. I think Stan Lee, in my lifetime, was somebody who I now, in hindsight, wish I would have, when he was at comic conventions that I was at, spent a little bit of time to wait. And I know I would have had nothing new or unique or earth-shattering that he hadn't have heard before, but I think I understand from a fan perspective that importance and the feeling of wanting to go to somebody who has impacted you, who's still alive, right? Walt, you can only sort of hear it when I thank you privately, and just to say thank you. And I think it's important that people know the impact that you have on him. And for every Marvel Cinematic Universe film that you pull up on Netflix or you're popping your Blu-ray, remember the hands and the mind and the creativity. And I think the value system and the belief system that Stan had that translated to his characters. Again, that's why I love Peter Parker so much. Like, he's rooted in family. He's rooted in doing the right things. And I think that comes a lot from Stan Lee himself. And at the very least, even if you're not a comic book fan, just go and watch his cameos. Like, I love the Stan Lee cameos in film. So I want to see or hear from you what is, and maybe if anybody wants to say something about Stan, we can take some calls a little early. But I would love to know, what is your favorite Stan Lee cameo in a film? And to that point, my understanding is that he did film his cameos both for Captain Marvel and the Avengers Untitled 4. I only hope that he also did it for Spider-Man Far From Home, because seeing him in his cameo. So I will tell you, I have a bunch of favorites. And okay, I'll count down to the surprising one, and then I'll take some of your calls. I think the surprising number one that I have, I'll save for last, but in Civil War, when he's the FedEx guy, delivery for Tony Stank. Oh, that's not going away anyway soon. When he's one of the Watchers in Guardians of the Galaxy 2 and they all leave him, he's like, oh, come on, guys. I have so many stories to tell. Like, I think Stan Lee did have so many more stories to tell. I loved him in Avengers Age of Ultron when he's, telling Thor and Captain America, like, come on, Blondie. And then his trademark Excelsior. And I think that as awful as this film was, and I love all things Spidey. And by the way, whoever sent me this today, I got this in the mail today. There was no card, there was no nothing, but thank you for him. I did not have this guy, so thank you. I love I love, as bad as the film was, when he is standing there with Peter Parker and they're looking up and he says, I think one person really can make a difference. Enough said. Again, one of his trademark comic book expressions. It's one of the ones that I love. I also like Ant-Man and the Wasp, when he's standing there and the car shrinks. And he's like, well, the 60s were fun, but I'm paying for it now. Amazing Spider-Man 2, also not really good. But when he sees Peter Parker turning into Spider-Man and swinging by, he's like, hey, I think I know that guy. Of course you do. You're Stan freaking Lee. And I love Iron Man when he's mistaken for Hugh Hefner. And I have to include Deadpool when he is the DJ at the adult entertainment club thing, which don't freak out about, because he actually created a short-lived animated series called Stripperella. Look it up. But I loved them all. Ray Castner, nice to see you, Hef. Let me see. Stanley cameo on Big Bang Theory. I've never seen it. I enjoy the presence of Spider-Man ride at Universal. Listen, I love that ride, and now maybe maybe I do need to go, and I need to go ride it just in memory of Stan Lee. Let's see. Favorite was Guardians of the Galaxy 2 when he's in the Spaceman. A lot of Lisa Milam, FedEx delivery guy, is my favorite cameo in Daredevil. There's also anybody playing Spider-Man for PS4, which is like playing a movie. I have had it. Okay, I've had it for months. I only started playing it late night. It's incredible, but there's actually there's a Stan Lee cameo which I have not gotten to as yet. So I'm Stan Lee. I'm supposed to be on the list. Let me see. Spider-Man: Homecoming. It's like your kids haven't seen an alien spaceship before. He's been in not just the MCU ones, but there is a ton. I have not seen Venom yet, although I believe he does have a cameo in there. Spider-Man PS4 is going to be on your Christmas list. Jeremy, the other thing you want to ask for, if you're going to get that for Christmas, make sure you ask for a lot of extra time, because it's very easy to get lost in that game. And as somebody who normally skips cutscenes, don't skip a single cutscene. But I will tell you, and not to get off on another tangent, you feel as though you are swinging through New York City. The amount of detail in that game. Just jump off a building anywhere and look at some of the all the buildings are different and all the storefronts are different. So you'll walk by a Chinese restaurant and you'll see a menu outside and people inside. The bodegas might be closed depending on what time you go by it. Whether it's a restaurant or an office building, the windows in the apartments are all different in terms of what's inside. It is insane, the size and the level of detail in that game. Like, even if you don't play for the missions, play just to swing around. And in memory of Stan Lee, go back to the original Romita and Ditko costumes, because that's how I like to play. But it's crazy. Yeah, I'm sad. I'm sad about Stan. But he, as I posted on the quote earlier this week after he passed, in terms of, this idea of doing something that you love and excites you every day. I think that's why Stan lived so very long. And if you want to see some interviews with Stan, you can check out some back on Amazon Prime, some back issues of Comic Book Men. He's in the shop one day. I wasn't crazy about the show. I think the guys were but it's Stan Lee. And there's an amazing short documentary with Kevin Smith from years ago that I believe is still on Netflix. It's probably 15 years old, but it's excellent. It's excellent. And yeah, pick up the games. Again, I don't have a lot of time for gaming, but I now have a new couch and it's super comfortable. And if I can get a little bit of time to play Spider-Man PS4, it's an incredible game and sort of brings these things to life. Which again, I love these old ones, not just for the. Wait, I want to get to see if I can find it here, but I love these. Oh, let me get rid of Stan here. Sorry, I love all the old ads that are in there. So this was 244. So this is probably, gosh, I can't see. I can't even see what year this was. Yeah, this is probably 63, 64, somewhere around there. So I'm still waiting for my 98-pound weakling package to come in, because I'm a 298-pound weakling. But yeah, remember these prizes for cash and things like that. Anyway, I digress. But Stan Lee, you are loved and missed and appreciated. So this wall that has always been a tribute to Spider-Man is now more of a tribute to you as well. So another favorite was when he was on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. He told Phil Coulson it's time for him to do better. I agree with that philosophy wholeheartedly. Jesse McCullough, nice to see you as well. Yeah, he was good friends with, and you know what? Anybody that I know that knows him or knew him always said what a good guy he was. And this is not meant to sound like name dropping, but whether I'm talking to somebody who is, you'll know who I'm talking about, who is, an executive at Marvel Studios, down to the guy or the kid that meets him or met him at a comic convention. And Paul, you know who you are. You know, brother, this, I'm going to get to it. This, which is my Spider-Man signed 700, is now even more important and valuable to me. So who says, Chris Chapman, I'm with you. Romito and Ditko, those are my guys. I love the old stuff. All the stuff that I have is all the really old stuff better than the new stuff. And one of these days, over the next, I promise, Stan, I'm going to carve out time. I'm going to find time. I'm going to make time to relive a little bit of my childhood and read one or two of those old ones that I have. Before we move on, if anybody wants to share any thoughts about Stan or his impact on you, on comics, on the Marvel Cinematic Universe, maybe even some of the other things that we'll be seeing coming in the future, we'll take a couple minutes, and I'll take a couple of your calls. Jessica Buono, nice to see you. Patty Rodriguez from Lima, Peru. I love that. I love the fact, Stan, you would love this. Like, what we do, reaching people around the globe is phenomenal. Martin Shergold says, I think Stan made an appearance in Eureka. I love that show. I've never heard of that. Old comics made me afraid somebody was going to kick dirt in my face. As somebody who has had dirt kicked in his face, that's why I sent away for the 98-pound weakling thing. It never came in. So let me just catch up on some of your other... I love the old Hostess snack ads. Oh, so many Hostess cakes I would eat in the grocery store while my mom is shopping. Ray Kastner, my X-ray glasses never came in. A tour of my comic collection. So, Chris, actually, I was a huge comic book collector when I was a kid, but I gave them to my brother. So I just have sort of my personal ones left. But we'll take a couple of calls. Hey, it's Lou. You're on the air. Rest in peace, Stanley.
Hello, Lou Mongello. It's Darlene Nagy from West Seneca, New York.
Soon to be from somewhere in Florida, we hope.
Oh, I hope so, too. I was trying to win the lottery to move even sooner.
Keep playing. Somebody's got to win every week, so...
Oh, I know, exactly. No, we really are. This winter is already very cold. It's like 30 degrees every day, so...
Lovely.
You know, I'm going to leave behind my nice, duck boots and my winter coat, my Gore-Tex, and just bring the light one. And, yeah, I know exactly what I'm bringing, what's staying in a box at Alicia's house. So, yeah, Keith and I are very, very upset about the fact that Stan Lee is no longer with us, but he lived a very, very wonderful life with everything he brought us. Again, it's really, it's going to be sad not seeing him in all the movies and stuff like we were all mentioning, and that with Deadpool and just Spider-Man and just him being there, because that's what Keith said. That was the first thing. He goes, the movies aren't going to be the same anymore without that little thing, but he's like, we know where he came from and we know where they came from.
Yep. And like I said, we know he'll be in Captain Marvel, we know he'll be in Avengers. For me, because I'm a Spidey fan and because of, I think, his connection to Spider-Man, I only hope that he was able to get his cameo in for Spider-Man Far From Home.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, I watch a show now, too, called The Gifted, and he is part of that as well. And it's just, there's so many things even now that are still out there that he's part of. They're still playing because they were all pre-filmed. Yep. So it's amazing, how between like Walt Disney leaving a mark on us and Stan Lee with all the Marvel leaving a mark on us, and we have both of them in our world now. Yep. Which we're very lucky to have that they brought Marvel into the Disney family, which is great.
And I think we won't fully understand and appreciate his legacy until some time has gone on.
Oh yeah, I mean my cousin Ed, he draws a lot of the Marvel figures and stuff like that, and he was lucky enough to meet Stan Lee twice.
Oh wow!
At the comic stuff that he went to, and he said he goes, it really touched him a lot that, he passed and stuff. Yeah. And he posted a picture of him and Stan on Facebook. And I was just like, he was so lucky. And I showed it to my husband, and he's like, wow, So, but I hope, I don't want to keep, you too long. So I hope you have a wonderful Thanksgiving. Give the family a hug for me. And, you bring so much joy to my life with just hearing everything. I'm in the middle of your latest show, so.
Oh, thank you. And I am thankful for you, not just in this season, but all the time. You know that.
Oh, I thank you. You always make me smile and stuff, and I know you're always there for me. So, and I'm always here for you guys. So, I will talk to you soon. Have a wonderful night. Love you.
Sounds good. You too.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Yeah, I don't think you needed to be a comic book fan in order to appreciate the comic book genre, the films, and certainly his cameos. And it seems like everybody who knew him, everybody who had an interaction with him, never had anything else but nice things to say. So, if everybody else wants to call, we'll take a couple more calls right now, and then otherwise we'll start to move on. I know there's some other things that we want to talk about this week. One of the things I did want to talk about, and don't forget, if you haven't had a chance to listen already, this week's show, obviously very, very different than discussions about Stan Lee and comic books. My buddy Paul Gowder from powwows.com joined me as we talked about Native American culture, not just currently in the Disney parks, but a history of it in the Disney parks, as well as tracing its roots back to the Disney films. And I felt compelled to bring up a difficult conversation about the portrayal of Native Americans in early, not just Disney films, but other films of that time, and sort of how that has progressed. And I think Disney did a very good job early on of a course correction in terms of representation, credit towards, and I think exposing many people to a beautiful culture that they probably had very misconceptions of because of the way Native Americans were portrayed in early films. So it was a fun episode to record, and I think and I hope is that people will not only take a look and see about what is in the parks now and seek out some of those many tributes and references to Native American culture in the parks, but also sort of trace that back and look at what was here and what almost came to be in terms of Disneyland, Walt Disney World, and we also talk about Disney's America, which I promise we will eventually do an entire episode on. But I'm going to do, and I thought about this like right before we went live tonight. I'm going to try something that I've never really done before, and it's only for you. I'm not going to post it on the show. I'm not going to post it on social. Only for those of you who are watching live. I ask you every week to do what? One thing. Please help spread the word. I would love for you to do that about this week's show, about Native American culture in the Disney parks and movies. So what I would like you to do before in between now and next week, between now and next Wednesday, is share out a link to this week's episode. Anybody who shares the post either on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram, make sure you tag me on it so that I see it. Anybody who shares it out with their friends, on their feed, in their timeline, on a group, whatever it might be, I will take all of those entries and I will randomly select one, and I will give you a mystery box full of prizes and maybe some surprises as well. So again, I'm not going to post about this anywhere. I'm not going to post details. This is very much for me and you and a way to help spread the word. And I sort of picked this one because I think this is something that hasn't really been talked about a lot. And I think obviously right now there's the Native American cultural and art exhibit in Epcot, which if you haven't seen, you need to go see it. I'm definitely going to do a live broadcast from there one night, because for those of you who can't get here, although it's going to be here for a while, I would love for you to see it. And I think it's important that we recognize the genesis of their presence in the parks and some of the beautiful things. Or maybe we'll do a meet of the month at Wilderness Lodge. Like we'll just meet there and we'll get snacks and we'll sit outside when it's not quite as hot and humid. So So that's it. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, tag me, share it out with your friends, spread the word, and we'll do a very informal spread the word contest, and I'll randomly select one winner next week. And because I thought about this without thinking about it ahead of time, I am going to I will put together a little prize box for the winner, and we'll see how this goes. So there you go. What else? Oh, so I know that many of you have seen us talk about this and reference this in the Box People group on Facebook. And by the way, if you are a new listener and viewer, first of all, welcome. Thank you so much. Make sure, if you are not a member of our Box People community, that is our Facebook group where the community and conversation exists. You have seen conversation about it's the most wonderful time of the year, not just because there's wonderful snack treats coming and present in the parks, but because, oh, Tiffany Marie, hi. Speaking of snacks, it is also time for our annual WDW Radio Ornament Exchange. Insert appropriate holiday-themed music here. What the Ornament Exchange is this, is it basically is what it is. You go to www.radio.com/exchange18. There you will find a sign-up form where you put in your information in terms of your address, your favorite character or characters. We will keep that open until the 23rd, so about 10 days. And then what will happen is our little WDW Radio elf, thank you, Shannon, will randomly select one Ornament Exchange buddy for everybody who enters. You will get an email with the name and the address of your buddy. You'll have until December 12th to put your ornament in the mail. And then we also ask that you send a thank you. And all these are all this information is on the sign-up form. So, again, it's www.radio.com/exchange18. It's about community. It's about friends. It's about family. This is a fun way to do it. Whether you buy an ornament, make an ornament, it doesn't matter what or how you celebrate the season. It's just fun to do. Whether you know the person or don't know the person, there's always that cool surprise of getting that ornament. Really, I talk for a living. That ornament in the mail. So this is something that, again, thanks to people like Shannon and going way back a number of years, Christy, has been a great thing to do so we can really celebrate and share the season together. It is a Box Family Exchange. It is a longtime listener, first-time exchanger, says Michael Cassidy. Yes, whether you've done it before or have never done it before, it is a lot of fun, and it's something I love, and I am so grateful to Shannon, our little WDW Radio Ornament elf, for taking up the reindeer reins and putting this together. So go to www.radio.com/whatever. It's here. It's there. You see it. --exchange18. I hope somebody picks Lou as their favorite character. I hope they don't, because that would just be incredibly weird. So I will post details in the Box People group, but again, you have about 9 days or so. We'll have all the details there. And if you go to www.radio.com/exchange18, all of the details are there. Something else before I forget, and do I not have, I know I have a graphic for it somewhere because I just made it up tonight. Wait, where is it? It's so hard doing this by myself. Wait a second. I'll find it. I hope this is the right one. We'll see if it is. Speaking of the season and celebrating it and celebrating together, I was contemplating going out to do the show from somewhere in Walt Disney World. As it, Tiffany, you're just very distracting. You've already started making Lou ornaments. Yikes. Besides the migraine, I knew that because I was going to be out tomorrow, spoiler alert, that's why I wasn't out tonight, because tomorrow I would love for you to join me for Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party. I will be out in the parks tomorrow, probably starting late afternoon, and I will go as long as my little body and energy will go, but I will try and broadcast multiple times throughout the day and the evening from Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party. You need to turn on notifications on the WDW Radio Box People group. This way, when I do go live, you get a pop-up on your phone or on your desktop. Wait a minute. Andrew Mylan says, is the loot ornament made of marshmallows? It's funny because it's true. Wait, how do I add that here? Is the loot ornament made of marshmallows? I'm fluffy and I know it, and I embrace my fluffiness. But yeah, so tomorrow we will be live, and if you are going to be at the Christmas party tomorrow, hit me up on Messenger, let me know, and you can maybe even join me and be part of the show. Brian, yes, the Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party is a hard ticket event, so you do need to have a Christmas party ticket in order to join. But I'll try and I've got to do the parade because I love the parade oh so very much, as well as fireworks and castle projection show. So, Martin, I know you missed it by a couple of days. I will try and bring it for you. I see some people talking about Candlelight Processional. I will be doing Candlelight Processional, I believe, on, wait for it, I should have created a graphic for this, but I didn't. I will be doing the Candlelight Processional on Wednesday, December 5th. That'll be at least one that I go to, although I do know that there is conversation in, I believe, the Box People group about going to see Robbie Benson as well. So it's ladies' night, so I'll be there. And by ladies' night, I mean we're making it up. So lots of stuff going on. You've got the Ornament Exchange going on as of right now. The sign-up form is live, and then tomorrow night I will be live from Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party. Again, please let me know if you guys are going to be there. I would love to meet up with you and share in some hot cocoa and cookies. Also, like I said, don't forget about the Spread the Word contest, for lack of a better word, in terms of this week's show. And speaking of thanks, I have all kinds of stuff piled up on my desk. God, I need somebody to help me clean up this office. I did get, speaking of mystery boxes, I received a mystery box in the mail. I don't know what it is, but it doesn't sound like sockeye salmon. However, I do know that it does appear to be from a certain friend in the United Kingdom, or somebody who at least has the same name. I'm going to do a live unboxing. God help us and save us. This is probably not a good idea that I didn't look at this ahead of time. But I believe it's from you, Martin Shergill. Oh, it says don't do that. Wait, do I not open this? Is that... Wait, Martin, do I not... Oh, wait, don't do that because you're telling me not to shake it. Oh, it is from you. Oh, my gosh. It's totally from Martin. Oh, this may be my favorite unboxing ever. Wait a minute. Oh, my gosh. Martin Shergill, you are like the nicest guy on the planet. I don't need these anymore. Wait a minute. We'll take a couple more calls in a little bit, but wait a minute. Oh, good Gandhi. I know what I'm having tonight. So these are Walker's Crisps, which I think we call potato chips here. They're cheese and onions. They are so, so good. I don't know what any of these typical nutritional values mean because they're all in Queen's English, which is fine. I'd rather not know. Oh, gosh, I love cheese and onions so much. They'll be Martin, you are the nicest guy on the planet, man. Holy moly. A chocolat orange. It's My Delicious Chocolate segments are made with real orange oil, not that fake orange oil that they use in other countries. They use the real orange oil. Tony Stamopoulos wants to be Martin's friend. We're all Martin's friends, whether we've met yet or not. Oh my gosh, these are so good, and I hope I'm pronouncing it right. They're Jaffa cakes. These two have to be healthy because they've got some sort of a citrusy flavor to it. The original blend of, I won't do it in the Queen's English, the original blend of dark crackly chocolate, light sponge, and the smashing orange bit. God save the Queen and Martin too. Let's see. Oh my, Martin, there's so much in here. Oh Lord, look at you. These are, I love the adjectives and adverbs that they use. These are the delightful peppermint Incredibubble chocolate known as peppermint arrows. Oh, this is going to be nice, with a nice spot of tea tonight, which I forgot to bring up. Can somebody grab my tea? Forget it. I need an assistant. Do it in a James Mason accent. Oh, my goodness. Oh, Lord. If you've never had a crunchy, then get yourself... Oh, wait. Get yourself over. So crunchies are a chocolate-covered honeycomb thing. I was reading the back, and I'm going to scan this, but it says obey your mouth. So I usually obey my stomach, but I love that I should obey my mouth, and I'm afraid to scan that for fear of what my... Oh my gosh, look at all this stuff in here. What's this? It's the perfect cuppa before your nap. I don't even know what this is. Our pyramid bags, whether you're traveling by car, train, plane, or camel, enjoy your favorite cuppa wherever you go on your hollabobs. What language do they speak in the United Kingdom? It's a tasty decaf. It's some sort of, I don't know what this is. Obey your mouth. Tiffany, somebody needs to create an obey your mouth design for t-shirt for the W. Oh, I see. It's a cup of tea. Oh no, I don't know what this is. I really have no clue. PGT. Oh, PG Tips. It's the tasty decaf. Yes, I could use a little decaf because my heart palpitations are probably not a good sign. Oh my gosh, look at this. Wait a minute. Forget, I take back everything I said about decaf, because these are Nescafe Double Choc Mocha, which it's a cappuccino, choco, double choco, mocha. There's so many different languages on the back, and I don't understand any of these things. But this looks delicious. Oh, wait a minute. That smells so good. Oh, I'm so excited. That looks way better than the last time my friend bought me. Jeremy Goff, I love the weird Japanese Kit Kats. I feel like I'm going through Mary Poppins' umbrella bag, because this box just never ends. It just keeps on going. Oh, look, another spot, a tea. Sorry, I sounded like Dick Van Dyke trying to do an impression. Oh, wait a minute. So these are Walker's regional flavors. These are loved in the Southeast. And by Southeast, I don't think they mean Jacksonville. I think they probably mean the Southeast of the United Kingdom. These are Worcester sauce, whatever, that kind of sauce. But they are loved in the Southeast. Green tea Kit Kats are so good, Jeremy Goff. Don't you be talking like that. This multi-pack bag is not to be sold separately, by the way. I am so excited that it's not one, not two, but 3 bags of crisps. I'm going to take, you know what, Martin? In honor of you and Stan Lee, when this show is all over, I'm going to take the rest of the night off, and I'm going to eat everything in this box. These are so good. They're wine gummies, and I don't think are they made with wine? I don't think so. I can't even read. Good golly, I can't see this. I don't know why they're called wine gummy. They're made with natural colors. Or maybe they are wine flavored. What are these, Martin? But they're wine gums. Maynard Bassett's wine gums with natural colors. If you pull out some Branson pickle, I don't know. There's this box over. Oh, there's more chips. I still have more Branson pickle downstairs, by the way, somewhere. Brian Harvey, you shut your pie hole, buddy. These are all for me. That's why I opened them up here by myself. But wait, there's more. These are so good. I don't think you're actually calling me a flake, Martin, although I play one on TV. These flakes are so light and fluffy. I'm fluffy but not light, so I dig these. And like the Willy Wonka golden ticket, I could match and win for a Premier League VIP match day experience. I don't know what any of those words mean. Oh, is that the funny game that they play with the round ball that they call football but really isn't football? Or is it the thing that's like football but they just beat each other up without any helmets and pads? Oh, that's rugby. Different sport. Whatever. I dig me some Cadbury Flakes. Martin, you're a good guy And last, and certainly not least, this is the most important part. It is my, you're going to make me cry, brother. Martin's wonderful tribute to our lost friend, Ricky DJ Technoid Reed, who, by the way, if you haven't listened to some of his stuff on SoundCloud, make sure you go and check it out. Martin Shergold, my friend, I would hug you if you're here, but since you're not, I'm just going to hug all of my snacks instead. You have made mine. I'm like in prison. I don't want anybody to take them. These are so good. No, it's like the scene from Animal House when Pinto's trying to get all the stuff in the grocery store. I love these all. Open the box inside out. It's Star Wars. I can't because now my hands are full with all my snacks. Wait a minute. Now I gotta. Oh my God! Now I'm dropping them all over the floor. So what you said? Open up the box, inside out. It's look at that! It is Star Wars. How the heck do I open this box? Even your boxes are cool, Martin. Look at that. You Brits know how to do it right. Look at all those snacks. Oh, my gosh. I might just lock myself in my... If I had a coffee maker up here or a tea maker, I would just eat all my... You know what? Maybe I should. Wait a minute. Oh, you know what? Martin, it would be rude if I didn't try them. By the way, if I croak, it's Martin Shergold from the United Kingdom. So good. Oh. They're crunchy. They're cheesy, like in a good way. Is it a Loot Crate box? Yes, it is a Loot Crate box. Better prep the sweatband. Jeremy Goff, listen, there's a reason why the camera is only from the waist up. I may or may not be wearing sweat shorts right now. Oh. I don't know what cheer in your ear. Cheers to you, Martin Shergold. And here's to you, Stan Lee. I hope you and Walt are enjoying some snacks up there together. I'm sure you guys have a lot to talk about. Oh, that's just lovely. Let's have a wine gummy, too. Pamela Bart, it is a Loot Crate. So glad UPS was nearby. Martin Shergold, you are the best, man. I'm sorry we didn't get to spend... How do you open these things? I'm sorry we didn't get to spend more time together, but... oh my gosh, they're so big. They're like giant Juji fruits. They're huge. This looks like the shape of... What is this? I don't know what that says. Maynard's. It's like the shape of Becky's crown. Oh. I shouldn't try and talk. Oh, this is going to take a while. Oh, those are delicious. I'm not bringing these downstairs either. Oh, these are nice things to snack on while I'm up here. Crunchies, arrows. Come on over. I have enough to share. Martin, is there alcohol in these things? Gosh, I have no idea. Let's see. Wait a minute. Glucose syrup, blah, blah, blah. Colors, paprika, vegetable carbon. What is that? Vegetable oils, glazing agents. I don't know what any of these words mean. I don't think there's any actual alcohol, anything. Those are yummy. This is a good night. This is why I'm so fat. This is not helpful at all. Martin, my brother, look at me. Hear the words that are coming out of my mouth. I love you, man. I appreciate you. You are and have always been a true blessing. When I talk about friends, whether we've met yet or not, and community and family, you, my friend, are the poster child for that. So I share all of these with you, all of you. And I can say that because I don't have to actually share them with you. But in my heart, I'm technically sharing them with you, but I'm not going to share them with anybody. So, and Jaffa cakes are so good. Nice cup of tea. This is awesome. This is awesome. So, the ceiling flames reflecting off the picture again. That you guys hate that, don't you? There you go. Better? Sorry. I was moving stuff around the other day. I was trying to get all my Spidey stuff onto the wall, or at least onto somewhere I can access them. Maria, I'm not sure if you're in here, but that Spider-Man Artifact Edition is still one of the coolest presents I've ever received. So everybody loves Martin. Everybody loves Martin. So I actually talked to, I don't know if you know Maria, Jeremy's wife. I was talking to her earlier today. Can't find the Ornament Exchange. Says you can't find the page. Wait a minute, because somebody said that they just signed up. So let me just double check. Excuse me, and make sure that link is working. WDWRadio.com/exchange18. Yep, it's working. www.radio.com/exchange18 will take you to there. So it should definitely be working. So just give it a check. So link is on the box group, and we'll make sure we repost that as well. Werther's Popcorn is available at the Caramel Kitchen in Epcot. So, Christine, this is a huge snack haul. This is like 87 pounds or 13 stones or however much they mention, however they measure stuff there. Michael Ruffin, you just missed it. I got all these yummy snacks in the mail from England, and I'm eating them all. So I'm going to be super fluffy in time for the Christmas party tomorrow. But it was quite the haul. So Martin, brother, thank you, man. I would say from my family to yours, but I'm not going to share them with my family. So from me to you and your family, thank you, buddy. I love you, brother. So coming soon, the boring box from Florida. There's no boring box. Oh, this is so good. I'm going to have the only problem is I might eat all of these tonight. These are so good. And I do believe that they sell Walker's chips in the UK pavilion. For anybody here who's part of the WDW Radio Nation, I think it was 2 months ago. I do care packages every month for Platinum members, and I sent a package from the United Kingdom, primarily of snacks. It was like a Martin Shergold box because I wanted to bring a little bit of Disney via the UK. It was just in time of the royal wedding, whatever royal thing was going on. I'm like, it's perfect timing to send stuff from the UK, and it was primarily snacks. So I wanted to pay what Martin has done for me in the past forward to members of the nation. So I hope you guys enjoy it as much as I do. These are so good. There's an easy joke here about it being the half-mooner as opposed to the full moon. Half moon, total eclipse. What kind of Jaffa cake eater are you? Are you a half-mooner? I'm probably I'm not gonna, I won't, I can't. Yes. Let's see. Oh, so Donald Nicholson, I am going to be at the Christmas party tomorrow night. And yes, I will be at the super secret parade viewing spot for the first parade. Remind me, I'll post that in the Box People group. That can be a good meetup location. But you'll have to come to me for the super secret spot. Don't tell them where it is because it's that awesome. So, Devin Ashley, it's my first time posting here. Is the Christmas party worth the extra cost? We live in Texas, but our pass holders going in December while it's happening. And it's oh my gosh, that's so huge. And it's my mom, me, and my 2-year-old and 4-year-old sending them a second birthday. I love, Devin, the Christmas party. I think it's something that you need to do at least once. I think there's and not that there's one better than the other, but I may enjoy the Christmas party more because of I love the parade. I love the smells. I love the snow falling on Main Street. I love the character interactions. I love the castle projection show. So the very long-winded answer is yes. I absolutely think that you should do it at least once. So Katya says, all the snack made me hungry. Had to go get a bag of Doritos. That a girl. Katya, that's why you're one of my favorite Buradinos, because it is all about the chips. I'm going to eat all these chips tonight, Martin. I can't wait. I'm clearing my calendar for the evening. Martin, because of you, I'm going to force myself to take the night off and stuff my fat, fluffy face on my brand new couch, which, too, is big and fluffy like me, and maybe I'll watch something Marvel-related. Who am I kidding? I need to catch up on American Horror Story at some point, so... Marla Chan's going to be at the Christmas party December 2nd and the 7th. Love Marla Chan. I love the fact that Marla Chan is coming back. You want to, talk about nice people in this community? 2 words. You look up nice people, WDW Radio. Not that there's dictionaries anymore, but if you were, Marla Chan's face would be there. Right next to some dark chocolate-covered graham crackers. So, I just realized these people are the ones making me fat. I can't wait to have this tomorrow. A double chalk mocha. I don't know how to actually make this thing. Do I just pour it in my mouth? Oh, no. There's little instructions. Oh, I'm having this tomorrow morning. Oh, no, I'm not. That's a lie, because I have a meeting tomorrow morning. Tomorrow night. No, I'm going to be at the Christmas party. I promise this weekend I'm going to have it. So thank you for not doing it. Jeremy, I have been watching Hill House. I don't have a lot of time to watch TV, man, so I'm 3 episodes in. It's just starting to get good. I got to just make myself some time. I need help. I advise everybody else about getting help. I need it for myself. One of these days, I'm going to announce my need and my search for a WDW Radio social media intern. Why did I just click on that? I was not meant to be an announcement for the search for it, but it is coming. I think I have to have the realization that I have a need and a way to potentially help somebody too. So anyway, I heard Jeremy Goff. It does start getting crazy about episode 5. So yes, I need to get a social media intern, and I need somebody to help me sell a lot of this stuff on eBay because it's got to go. So Danny McDonald, I believe the last Christmas party is the 31st. Is there one January 1st? There might be. There might be one on the 1st. So, Haunted Hill House was excellent. Yes, no spoilers because I do want to get through it. I wanted to watch something in honor of Stan Lee tonight, but I have to eat all of my snacks. So, all right, so let's see. Oh, the other thing I wanted to ask was, speaking of getting together, is anybody going to be at Destination D this weekend, specifically on Saturday? I'm not going to be able to make it probably on Sunday, but I will be on Saturday during the day. If anybody else is going to be at Destination D, let me know. Would love to see you there. Jeremy finished at 12:31 night. Something fell over my house 10 minutes later, and I almost pooped. Somebody else did the same thing, that they watched it, and all of a sudden they started hearing these weird noises in their house and completely got freaked out. That's how I was as a kid watching Amityville Horror, because it was, a quote-unquote true story. I lived in a big old Victorian house, and it had lots of sounds and lots of creaky stuff. There were all sort of little... There were little secret storage areas and passageways and stuff like that. It freaked me the freak out. I didn't sleep for 4 years. So Heather says the last party that has tickets available is on the 21st. Jessica has reservations at Paddlefish. So excited to say I love the appetizers at Paddlefish. I love getting a bunch of apps, lobster guac, tableside, chill it upstairs in the top deck. That's the way to do it. My parents let me watch Amityville. Yeah, they let me watch Amityville Horror and The Exorcist and The Omen. I had a bad childhood, man. I was freaked out. What can I tell you? They still sort of... and I had a cousin whose name... I still have a cousin whose name is Damien, and I was convinced the kid was like the devil. because he had the dark hair and whatever. But yeah, living in an old house after Amityville Horror comes out and The Exorcist, it did not bode well for me as a child. Jenny Owens, a lobster roll at Paddlefish is delicious. This is why I'm so big and fluffy. It's not my fault. It's their fault. They're making me hungry and eat. Thank God Martin sent me some food. Christina Kloss is headed to the Boathouse for the first time on Monday. What's the best thing to order? It really depends on what mood you're in. You can sort of custom create a seafood tower. I will tell you this. You have to get the tuna and avocado appetizer. You can also get the tuna entree. It's a coriander seared tuna, which is phenomenal. Always check the specials list. And it's a Gibson Steakhouse, so the steaks are phenomenal. So you can't go wrong. Also, the pulled pork sandwich is ridiculously good. I could go on. Oh, wait. Get the lobster roll, but get it Manhattan style. So you don't get all the mayonnaise and stuff. It's just like drenched in butter on the toasted roll. Oh, God, I need to go to Boathouse so bad soon. It's been I haven't been to Boathouse since Momentum Speaker Dinner. So just so you know, when I do a call for speakers next year, if for no other reason, chances are we'll be going back to Boathouse. So Korean barbecue fish tacos and oysters. Ay, Dios mío. The tacos are so delicious and flaky and spicy. I was going to say like me, but that would have been weird. I was thinking more of the spicy part, but the flaky part. Wait, I take that back. Forget everything I just said. They're really good too. There's a lot of heat behind that as well. Tiffany says, the new dessert that they have is, and the blueberry cheesecake. The blueberry crumb cheesecake. Again, you hear me say about not being a sweet guy, although, Martin, I'm going to eat all these. The blueberry cheesecake is phenomenal. You went for my birthday with Nikki Ostrowski. Tiffany, why didn't you guys call me? We would have so much fun. Let's see. I just realized that the December 5th that I'm attending, yes, I specifically chose Neil Patrick Harris. He's awesome. And why I love him, too, is he allows a lot of his own personality to come through, and he's a Disney fan. Like, that guy wants to be there. He genuinely loves it. If not, he really portrays the fact that he really, really loves it. So, Marla Chan and I made dinner reservations with B and Brian, so I'll definitely see her. Boathouse is so good. When are you going to have my family back for another dining review? Soon. There's one on my radar that I haven't done that actually has a Boathouse connection. So there you go. So Jessica's my first time for Christmas. So excited. Oh, Jessica, there's so much good stuff to eat and see and do as well while you are there. I missed the Boathouse. I went there for sliders and cheesecake twice on my last trip, and I'm itching to go back. Atta girl. We just bonded right there. But yeah, I haven't been to Boathouse. It's been more than a month since I've been to Boathouse. I'm sure the stock is tanked. They might be worried about me, so maybe I need to go back. Actually, that's not true. I'm probably going back for my daughter's birthday. It's her choice, not mine. Nikki's birthday is 2 weeks away. Boathouse, you had me at Boathouse, so I'll go for any occasion. So, Neil Patrick Harris are definitely tough to get into without waiting a long time or getting a dining package. That's true. And on a normal candlelight night, you will see guests lined up 2+ hours ahead of, especially like the 5:30 show. Neil Patrick Harris, very, very much so. Dave Brookover, good to see you. Best to you and your family. Chris Hauser, good to see you as well. Christina says, I'm welcome to join us. I should just stay at Boathouse. I'll just camp out there, and anybody who happens to be coming in for lunch. Boathouse is still on the list, hopefully with Lou. Martin Shergold, we have to do Boathouse together. I owe you lunch and or dinner at Boathouse. So, John Stamos, also a huge Disney fan. Let's see. Marion will probably go for the sweets on her birthday. Very much true. But she's also, she has developed a love of oysters. So my kids are becoming a lot more expensive to take out. a December meet at the boat. I thought about doing, and I have to talk to them. Maybe I got to see about doing a live broadcast one night from Boathouse on a Wednesday, but they're always so busy. It's tough. But when you go, make sure you tell them that Lou sent you. Lou, you can eat for free by all of us. We sat at Boathouse and waited for each of us. It's incredible. It is incredible. John Simmons bought a ton of things from the It's from Disneyland auction. He did buy the original D from the Disneyland sign years ago for what is now his ex-wife, but he has a lot of Disneyland, specifically theme park artifacts. So Tuesday night, Boathouse, welcome to join. Oh, man, Joy, I appreciate that offer. I have standing coaching calls with my mastermind groups on Tuesday night, or maybe I could do them from there. No, I appreciate that, though. Would love to. They're so busy because I keep telling people I can't help it. It's so good. I love them so much. And Steve Schussler, if you're here, you know I love you, brother. So I'm definitely hitting up Epcot Holiday Festival when you visit. Carrie, you have to. Epcot's beautiful. I love the Epcot storytellers. I'm going to have to do a show. It's been a long time since I've done a show about the holidays at Walt Disney World. Like 10 things maybe you need to do at Walt Disney World. Let me write this down because I'm going to forget that. So, 10 things need to do at holidays. God, I can't write at Walt Disney World. I have just sticky notes everywhere. I'm not actually doing anything with them, but I have got to start following those. So, could you imagine a drinking game of Lou saying Boathouse? That would be a don't drive that night. Tiffany's already been playing that. Let me see. I had Boathouse for the first time for my engagement dinner a few weeks ago. Amazing, as I expected it to be. But yeah, I haven't been actually in a while. So thanks to all of you who signed up for the Ornament Exchange. If you are popping in late, we are doing our annual WDW Radio Ornament Exchange. Go there, fill out the form with your name and address and favorite character or park and thing like that. About 10 days from now, we'll randomly mix them all up and give you your Ornament Exchange buddy, and you'll see the entire the schedule of when everything is done. I think the deadline to sign up will be the 23rd of November, and then you'll get your buddy. Whoops, hey, you will get your. I don't know why that's happening. You will get your buddy a couple days later, and then have until like December 12th to get your ornament mail. Stephanie Perry Bullock, you don't need to like seafood to love the Boathouse. Remember, it's a Gibson Steakhouse, and OMG, that pulled pork sandwich is so good. I just noticed that our WDW Radio Ornament Exchange elf is in the box. I don't know if you want me to tell people who you are, but you know who you are. I appreciate you so much for doing this. You can already see just how excited people are for it. So thank you very, very much for doing that for and with us. So John Jones, Homecoming is on your list. Homecoming's a big winner. Homecoming is part of the trifecta, the Holy Trinity at Disney Springs. It's Boathouse, Homecoming, and Morimoto Asia. And 2 and 3 can be interchangeable depending on the season and the mood and just how hungry we might be. So, and Tiffany, they're going to be introducing a new, I don't know if I'm supposed to say what it is. Anyway, it's a new steak that they're bringing to Boathouse that I was fortunate enough to sample. It's insane. Like, you talk about steak that is flavorful and not fatty and marbleized and just melts in your mouth. That's what's a-coming. It is good stuff. Stephanie Perry Bullock, they have an award-winning Chef Bob pulled pork sandwich. It's so good. It is so good. It's phenomenal. And then you get fries or truffle fries on this. The crab and Jason Saunders, the crab and avocado app. So good. If you get that in the tower with the tuna and avocado, oh my God, it's amazing. I need to go to Boathouse. I think I need to take my daughter there. That's where we're going this weekend for her birthday. So, just sign up for the Ornament Exchange. Yes, thank you to all of you who have done that. Mariah Pop, truffle fries. so good. So good. Martin Shergold, brother, I love you, man. Thank you. You are a good man, Charlie Brown, not just because of this, but just because you are a good man. And hopefully I will see and talk to you again soon. So one day I'll have the tower. Yeah, Lisa Denona Glassner, we'll have to have a business meeting at the boathouse, not on a day when there's an event going on there and all the staff is engaged doing other things. But yes, why don't we get our families together? As long as your kids don't try and touch any of my oysters, because they'll pull back a stump. But we'll get our families together, and we'll all go to Boathouse one night. That'll be a good night. That will be fun. Or just 4 of us will go. We'll just go the 4 of us, and kids can stay at home. What's my least favorite thing on the Boathouse menu? My least favorite thing. Yeah. There's nothing that I've had there that's disappointed me. I would have to really seriously think about, probably if there's a chicken on there, it would be the least favorite thing because it would probably be the last thing that I would get. Vegetables, probably some sort of plain vegetable. But I dig it all. Man. I love me some Boathouse. I've never done a dining review twice, but maybe I need to do it again. And I wonder if they still have the brunch on weekends, which I haven't tried yet. So I doubt my kids would mess with the oysters. Yeah, keep your kids' hands away from my seafood tower. If they know it's good for them. But me, you, Deanna, Brad, we'll go one night. We'll do Boathouse right. That's a good time, right? I'll get married to watch your kids. Perfect. There you go. Even the salad's good, Mike. Even this, they did a seasonal salad a year or two ago that had I don't know if it was goat cheese or feta and walnuts and cranberry. It was so nice and delicious. Top 10 things, yes, Jason, to order at the Boathouse. That would be a top 30 list. But maybe that's something I need to do as an article or something. My top 10 favorite things to eat at the Boathouse. My favorite thing at the Boathouse menu is the end of the menu, or when they make me leave, when they ask me kindly, sir, please, you've been here for 4 hours. It's time to vacate this table. Tiffany Marie says, can we talk about Spider-Man? We can always talk about Spider-Man. I've always, and this just came in the mail today, and I'm only saying this because I don't know. I assume this was a gift from somebody, but it didn't have a card. It didn't have a name. So if you sent it to me or want to take credit for sending it to me, thank you. I appreciate it. And he will very much go on my ever-growing collection of Funko Pops up there, including one of my favorites is Bao, is the little bun from Bao. So why don't we do this? If you want to talk about Spider-Man or anything else, why don't we take a couple of calls, make life a little bit easier and a little bit more fun, because Jeremy says, salad, I don't eat the food that my food eats. Jessica, lots of love and hugs from me to you. Right back at you, sister. Thank you very much for watching and being here. But yeah, if you want to call in, you want to talk about Stan Lee, you want to talk about this week's episode, I would love feedback on this week's episode about Native American culture in Walt Disney World. You want to talk about our Ornament Exchange, our Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party tomorrow, which, again, make sure you turn on notifications because I don't know when it is going to be. But you can call in 407-413-WDW1. Rita, you want to talk about Sporky, what's his name? Sporky from Toy Story 4. We can do that as well. I know some people got a little concerned about the Sporky teaser and then were brought back down to that warm, comfortable place when they saw some of the carnival characters that are going to be in the film. The one thing I will say, for those of you that got nervous when you saw Forky, whatever his name is, I think Toy Story has earned our trust. What you see on an initial teaser trailer or a teaser, even before you get the trailer, sometimes is not indicative of what, I just realized I had the volume down, of what is going to show up in the films. And that holds true for a lot of things. But I certainly think Toy Story has earned the trust in the creators and animators there. So, our visit to see Robbie Benton. You are so excited, Melanie Jones, to see Robbie. I would love to be able to join you guys just because I like Ladies' Night at Candlelight Processional. And Robbie Benton and I share a birthday, and that's the extent of all we share because he's a handsome fellow. So, Christina says, after all these amazing Boathouse recommendations, I have to go eat dinner. Like Lou says, I'm starving. Thanks, everyone. Christina, thank you for being here as well. And I hope you enjoy your dinner. So, William has to keep switching devices. So, yeah, it's 8:53. We'll take questions for a couple of minutes if you have any. 5 p.m. on the 30th. Just message me if you have any interest. I don't want to crowd your girls' night. So, The Void is switching from Star Wars to Wreck-It Ralph, I think, in the next couple of weeks, actually, in anticipation of Ralph breaking the internet. Lots of good stuff. Ralph breaking the internet, Mary Poppins Returns coming. So, good stuff. So, he's a very handsome fellow. I want to come so bad, says Terry Stinson Darty. I think they have a no dinosaur costume rule that they've just implemented. Don't you mean he's a beast? Amber Bramble says, I just ate and now I'm hungry again. Listen, is this your first time here? You should know better. Tiffany had a bad week. Thanks for the laugh. Anytime, Tiffany. Always good to see you and spend some time with you. One of these days, we're actually going to get together when it's not at 3 o'clock in the morning and cold, and we're holding boxes of Munchkins together. So, and I just realized, for those of you who were trying to call in, forgive me that I had this on Do Not Disturb. So if you want to call in, there is the call-in number. If not, I am going to go. I'm going to enjoy all of my snacks. I'm going to watch something in tribute to Stan Lee, even if watching something in tribute to Stan Lee ends up being The Haunting of Hill House. My favorite place to eat in World Showcase, Devin Ashley, is... Oh, gosh. So I love Katsura Grill in Japan. I like La Hacienda in Mexico, although I haven't eaten there in eons. I like... I'm mentally going through in my mind. I love To the Gusto Wine Bar in Italy. I think Via Napoli has some of the best pizza anywhere. And what else? Rose and Crown. I remember going to Rose and Crown with Emma and having Scotch eggs. That was really good. I haven't been there as well in a long, long time. I don't get out much. I really don't. It's normally because I don't end up, whatever. Tangerine Cafe, without question, one of my top 3 quick service locations, not just in Epcot, but probably anywhere. So I don't know if nobody's calling or there is some sort of issue with my Skype. Maybe nobody just cares, and that's fine. You know why I don't call them Chris? Because I don't feel like I don't know how to say. Oh, well, there you go. Looks like it is. Hey, it's Lou. You're on the air.
Lou, Don from Beverly Hills, staying at the Wilderness Lodge tonight.
Hey, brother. How you doing?
All right.
Good, man. You're treating yourself to a little staycation at Wilderness Lodge?
Yes.
Nice.
So okay, let's ditch the wives and you and me hit the boathouse tomorrow.
I like how you roll, brother. I mean, I would never do that to your wife, of course, but
she's giving me the right. She's saying right. You ditch anyone for the boathouse,
right? I would if I could, but I can't. But one of these days we'll make it happen.
That's all right. But I'll see you at the parade.
Sounds good, brother. I'll definitely look for you guys tomorrow.
All right. Well, have a good one, and hello to everyone in the box.
Sounds good, buddy. I'll see you then. Thanks.
Okay, bye.
All right, buddy. Bye-bye. Now I'm thinking about Boathouse, too. Katsura, Tangerine, and Sitkuli. So I was thinking in Epcot, but if you're thinking top counter, I don't think I've ever done that, too, because Tim doesn't eat a lot of places, so I have to do top counter service locations. I have to add. I have so many shows that I need to do and get in the can. If only I could find somebody, anybody who's like. And I know so many people get so mad when I say that. All right, it's 8:57, 9 o'clock. We're going to call tonight. So if you have something of import or not importance to say or talk about, again, whether it's about this week's show, Stan Lee, your favorite place to eat, the Boathouse, and or the Boathouse, feel free to call in. Otherwise, it's snack time for Big Daddy. So I got my Spider-Man PJs on, a new couch, comfy blanket. I'm in. I'm excited. And I've got snacks galore. So who is my favorite Spider-Man? I am an original OG, give me a Ditko Romita guy. That's sort of very much where I live is in the early originals. Some of the later ones are neat, but that's what I grew up with. I mean, these comics that I have are ones that I had when I was a kid. So these are the ones that I relate to the most. So and I just like Romita's style. And if you own Spider-Man on PS4, the new Spider-Man PS4, you can actually earn and play in that costume. It's insane. It's so cool. So Kevin Harrington, have a good night, buddy. Always good to see you. Jeremy Goff, Tim Foster's top $10 menu items. Tim Foster's more of a Golden Corral kind of guy than he is. And he came down here once. He's like, I'm going to dinner with my family. I'm like, oh, where are you guys going? He's like, Golden Corral. I'm like, you're in Disney World, right, brother? Whatever. We don't always see eye to eye. Did I watch Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends? I did. I really preferred the Spider-Man 67, the original. So if you heard when we first started the show and I was playing stuff like this, these are sort of background sounds. This is sort of background music from, this is from the old Spider-Man 67. They were funny and they were cheesy, but this is what I watched when I came home from school or on Saturday mornings when I would get up early and just plant myself in front of the TV. I miss those days. Like I tell my kids all the time, like, enjoy spending time just being kids because you don't get to do that anymore. I don't get to get up anymore and watch Saturday morning cartoons or read comic books and just enjoy the simple things in life. I pray and I work for sometimes being able to lead a less complicated, simpler life where we just enjoy the simple things. We're so busy sometimes doing this that we forget about doing that kind of stuff. So anyway, soapbox. Top 10 chicken exits. Space Ghost was all right. I liked, man, I'm going gray. Holy smokes. But yeah, I liked, I was thinking about this the other day. Some of the early morning Saturday cartoons, you guys probably never heard of, Ricochet Rabbit and Quick Draw McGraw and yeah, some of all the Hanna-Barbera stuff is the stuff that I really enjoyed. So I don't know if you guys can hear these. Spider-Man on the Electric Company, yep. Do you remember Morgan Freeman on the Electric Company? Like, I don't know if you can hear this. If you can hear the sounds of the old Spider-Man web shooters. I used to run around my house, which, you can't see it, but back there, I have these handmade red mittens that I used to run around the house wearing. I don't care. I'll tell you these stories. I would run around pretending that I was Spider-Man, and I would take, like, yarn and string, and I would hang it up somewhere and, like, try and swing. I remember the one time I tried to swing from the banister that went up to the second floor. Not a smart move on my part, but I didn't have a lot of friends, and I didn't go out very much, so I just made do with what I had around the house. So, Christy Viggs, Bing Bing Bing. I almost did the Bing 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 from Ricochet Rabbit, but Heckle and Jekyll on Saturday mornings. Again, talk about, like I did on the show this week, cartoons that could never get made or shown again. That very much would be something that you'd probably never see again. Mongello Gorilla. We've got a gorilla for sale. Mongello Gorilla for sale. Won't you buy him, take him home and try him? Gorilla for sale. I thought about doing like a 70s, like a 60s, 70s, 80s, like retro podcast or a show or something about like old toys, old comics, old like ads from some of the things we used to see, but again, as if I have and need something else for to spend more time on doing. So anyway, but I digress. So go Gophers. My brother used to be Spider-Man. I still pretend that I'm Spider-Man around the house times. Heather, he did not help create DC Comics. However, he worked with Jack Kirby early on. For whatever reason, it's up for discussion and debate. Jack Kirby left Marvel and eventually went over to DC. Sid and Marty, Joe Masters, Sid and Marty Krofft. I loved Witchy Poo, and I loved oh my gosh, his name just came out. Just Sigmund and the Sea Monsters. Those were some of my favorites. Zoom, 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 zoom. Oh my gosh, some of these. Was Sky King still on when you were little? I don't remember Sky King, but some of these other ones. HR Puffin Stuff. I almost started singing a song from HR Puffin Stuff. How about the New Zoo Review? Anybody remember New Zoo Review? Astro Boy, Speed Racer. Wait a minute. If you think I didn't love Speed Racer, I loved Speed Racer as a kid. I used to want to be a race car driver, and I thought the Mach 5 was just the coolest thing in the world. So the Bugaloos, they're in the air and everywhere, flying high, flying free, flying something. But nobody remembers Dr. Shrinker. Terry Cincinnati, I think that the 60s may have been a rough time, and you're just making all that up. Henrietta Hippo. Oh my gosh. Secret Garden. I had a crush on what? Oh no, I'm thinking about Magic Garden from Channel 11 and WPIX. The Banana Splits. I loved Witchy Poo. I love Witchy Poo and the little magic flute. And the boy with that funny accent like Martin Shergold, that funny English accent. I'm sure he enjoyed his Walker Crisps as well. Martin, he was lost as him with these shows. Yeah, if I had more time, man, I would. Carlos says it's the Blue Zoo Review coming right at you. It's not the New Zoo Review, it's the Blue Zoo Review. That's a place I haven't been to in a long time. But Jeremy Goff, the Mr. Rogers documentary is I have it in on my Apple TV. It's just a matter of making time to get there. Fraggle Rock. I love Fraggle Rock. I cannot wait for I'm thinking about doing I should have talked about this. They're bringing Emmett Otter's Jug Band Christmas back to theaters, like for 2 nights. I think maybe we should do a WDW Radio Emmett Otter's Jug Band Christmas. Maybe that's what we should do in terms of a meetup. Somebody remind me of that tomorrow when my brain is actually functioning. But Lisa, they had, when we went to Henson Studios, they had some of the giant puppets from the Dark Crystal in some of the offices. They're beautiful to see close up. Tom Schuler, I still have a Sigmund and the Sea Monster. Next week, one of these weeks, I'm going to bring up, I have 2 play sets. I have a Star Trek Enterprise and a Planet of the Apes Mego play set, where it was in 3 sections, and you open up, and there's a little transporter and Dr. Zaius, and I'm going to have to bring this up out of the garage. So, Emmett Otter's Jug Band Christmas. I watched that with my brother as kids over and over and over again, and some of the songs that made me cry will probably make me cry again. Wonderama on Channel 5 on Sunday mornings. Oh, my gosh. Talk about trips down memory lane. I once got to work with a woman who built a bunch of the puppets for Fraggle Rock. My brother was into Fraggle Rock. That was in like a weird time phrase. My brother's 6 years younger than I am. Terry Cincinnati, I can't even read or post what you just wrote in public because it's a G-rated show. I also went to the world of Sid and Marty Krofft. So, Kelly, somebody recently sent me, he worked there and also worked on the creation of the Sid and Marty Krofft world and sent me all kinds of like maps and brochures and ephemera for there. Never got to see it, but it ended up being, correct me if I'm wrong, that building is currently, it's CNN, right? It's where the CNN building is. Heather Demmett, Land of the Lost with the Slee Stacks. Marshall, Will, and Holly, they were on a routine expedition. Met the greatest earthquake ever known. Yeah. So I loved it so very, very much. Land of the Lost. Not the Will Ferrell version. That was, but my green Slee Stacks, this is the Slee Stack hand, by the way. And the crystals, and they would go into those pods and kept on trying to get back, and they never did. I had a little bit of crush on Holly, but that's beside the point. But Romper Room, oh my God, I loved Romper Room. And Carolyn Parent, remember at the beginning of Romper Room, she would hold up the mirror and be like, I see Kelly, and I see Terry, and I see Joe. She never said Lou, ever. She never saw me on Romper Room, and I watched that stupid show every day. Again, these are the things that scarred my child. It's why I eat. I eat because I'm unhappy, and I'm unhappy because I eat. What movie? That was a bad impression, but what movie? I eat because I'm unhappy, and I'm unhappy because I eat. That wasn't bad, Mongello. I'm going to give myself a quick high five. Thank you. Jimmy Horn, I've seen, again, not having a lot of time to watch TV. I started watching the first 2 episodes. It's a very slow burn on Netflix. I heard that I needed to wait to get more into it, but it's fallen down the list of things that I don't get a chance to watch because I don't watch a lot of TV because I don't have a lot of time because I'm too busy and pulled in different directions, and that's why I eat. But yes, it's Austin Powers. It was a really, really, really bad impression, but it's on the fly, so, whatever. Tell Will Ferrell to stop ruining the shows I loved, Land of the Lost, and Bewitched. Will Ferrell's making a Bewitched movie? Which Bewitched? Oh, no, I'm thinking of I Dream of Jeannie that had the 2 different captains. What'd you like better, I Dream of Jeannie or Bewitched? See, I should do a separate show all about, the 60s, late 60s to early 80s, like the decades that I operated in. I have to find some of my toys that I still have in my garage and in storage. My prime cartoon days were He-Man and She-Ra. He-Man, Masters of the Universe, and Castle. My brother and I would play with Castle Grayskull all the time. It's all fun until someone impersonates Fat. I think that was fun. If you don't like it, see, now you hurt my feelings. Now I got to eat something. Amber, I have a friend who's a huge I Love Lucy fan. I wasn't as much as a kid, although I did love William, the Apple Dumpling Gang. Who doesn't love Don Knotts? Like the nicest Tim Conway and Don Knotts. I remember the Cat from Outer Space. A lot of Bewitched fans in here. A lot of Bewitched, not a lot of I Dream of Jeannie. But she had such a cute little outfit, I Dream of Jeannie. Again, didn't get out much. Did not get out very much. Bewitched is where J.K. Rowling got many of her ideas. Carol and Paula have been friends for life. Carol and Paula from Magic Garden. I was going to start singing the Story Box and the Chuckle Patch. Oh, I did have a crush on one of them, but I used to love when they went to the Chuckle Patch. And they opened up the little, the box and had the different costumes in there. I was raised on Lucy and Andy Griffith. How old are you? Lucy and Andy Griffith. They're from like the 50s. Let's see. The Disney show Inside Out. So Walt Disney World Inside Out had a George Foreman. It had J.D. Roth, who I interviewed on the show. Somebody want to look that up. When I interviewed J.D. Roth on the show, it's got to be in the hundreds. And the girl's name, also slight crush on, again, didn't get out very much, was Brianna from, and then eventually, yeah, they had George Foreman pre his oh so delicious grill. Do they still make those, the George Foreman grill? God, everybody had those at one point. Inside Out, wish they would bring back Don't Be Surprised, Jeremy, for what you might see coming to the Disney streaming service. I will only say that. Pamela Bart, WX, remember when they would have, you could call up and play the game and win, and you'd have to go picks, and they'd have like one of the old Intellivision games on there. Show 72. Good Gandhi, I've been doing this a long time. God, that seemed, thank you, Jeremy. That seems like, man, he was a nice, and he's a very popular producer now in Hollywood. He produces a lot of TV programming and game shows and reality type stuff like that. Brianne Leary, that's it. Oh, the crush I had on Brianne Leary. So many crushes I had. Lisa Whelchel, Brianne Leary. I mean, I still have crushes, but I hope bring back some of the old movies on Disney Plus. I think that they will. Took my niece to a Magic Garden show and got an autograph photo from Carol and Paula. Oh my God, I'd love to see Carol. They've got to be what? They've got to be in their like 70s now. My Three Sons, Mr. Ed, the Patty Duke Show. Oh my God. This is an important question, Stan Solo. Ginger or Marianne? I think for a lot of people, so are we talking about who would I want to be stranded on a deserted island with, or who's the woman that I would like to spend quality time day in and day out with? I think the answer is Marianne. I think Marianne is down home, good, like she's good wife material. Ginger could potentially be very, very high maintenance, you know? I can't see Ginger just being like, hey, it's Saturday night. Let's hang out on the couch. Let's eat 15 things of Jaffa cakes and crisps and watch Netflix. She'd want to go out, very needy, hours with the makeup. So my answer is Marianne. And I prefer brunettes anyway. So that's way too much information. Nobody needed to know the inner workings of your mind, just so you know. But the answer is Marianne. And look, everybody's saying Marianne. Everybody says Marianne. Kristen Coakley, Green Acres is the place to be. Farm living is the life for me. Land spreading out so far and wide. Darling, I love you, but give me that countryside. New York is where I did not get out much at all. So, and Tom Schuler, I actually like the WPIX Facebook page. The Odd Couple. I used to watch The Odd Couple at 11 o'clock on Channel 11 right before the Honeymooners, before they went off the air, and I loved it oh so very much. I felt so bad for Felix, but I love Jack Klugman. I love Jack Klugman. He was also Quincy M.E. He also was on Twilight Zone, I believe, 5 times. I loved it when he was the trumpet player. I loved Jack Klugman. I wanted to be a medical examiner until I realized I needed to go to medical school. And then it didn't matter because the people I'd be looking at were dead anyway. And I'm like, this is not how I want to spend my day. Mrs. Howells got all the money. But is she, I can't see Mrs. Howell. Same thing. Like, I can't see her snuggling on the couch with Mr. Howell on a Saturday night. We all watch Little Rascals, which you'll never see again, unfortunately. I love the Brady Bunch. The Brady Bunch and Gilligan's Island, I would be able to watch the first 30 seconds of an episode and know exactly what that episode was because I saw them so many times. I love the Honeymooners. I love Jackie Gleason. I don't know what it was about that show that appealed to me. I do remember Hee Haw, and I'm trying to remember the Pearl that had the hat that she had the tag hanging down, and the guy who was the singer. I can see him. I can see his face, and when you say his name, I'll remember it. Bill, Bob, Roy, something. It was Roy. Somebody help me out. Chrissy Viggs. I love the Love Boat, not just for the song and for Gopher and for Isaac. But you never knew, like, hey, Charo's going to be on this week. And Roy Clark, and Minnie Pearl. Geez Louise. Then we had the story of Hogan's Heroes, Not a Chance today. I was going to do a really bad Colonel Klink or impression, but I won't. There was a lot. Although I love Richard Dawson, not just in Hogan Heroes, But I loved him, so I will confess, my early morning, I guess you can call it either indulgence or whatever, is I like to watch the old Match Game on Game Show Network at like 8 o'clock in the morning. Match Game 74, Richard Dawson was like, I loved Richard Dawson on Match Game. I love everybody on Match Game because those are the people I grew up with, but he was always, oh, hold on a second. We need to do something about this bad person saying bad words in here. And I don't know. Oh, I can't do it from here. So sorry about that. Kelly Lawrence, I almost started singing Love American Style. I always felt like I shouldn't be watching, like it was more for adults, but I remember watching it as a kid. Tom Schuler, I love Match Game. It is my guilty pleasure. Fantasy Island. Have you ever seen My Dinner with Hervé on HBO? Interesting, very, very interesting to watch. If you remember watching Fantasy Island and just how popular that show was, this was a very interesting look inside the personal life of Hervé Villechaize. I loved Mork and Mindy, Nanu Nanu. I am not Captain Stubing, although I do love. I had a Mork and Mindy. Can I admit this? I had Mork and Mindy action figures. I also remember having. It was an egg that was a spaceship, and you took the egg apart, and there was a Mork figure inside. Now I have to start looking for eBay for that stupid thing. Darn it. Let's see. Brett Summers and Charles Nelson Riley. I love Charles Nelson Riley and Brett Summers, who, by the way, was married to Jack Klugman. Yeah, those two and Richard Dawson sort of became the fixtures in the 2, 3, and 5 positions. And then Betty White was on there a lot, too. They had a very weird cast of characters that would rotate through. So The Dating Game, Rainbow Suspenders, Collecting the Past will find it for you. Oh, look at you plugging away. I love it. Jonathan Winters. He looked like the nicest, like fluffiest guy in the world. So I could do this all day. Dukes of Hazzard. Obviously, we all watched for the same reason, and it wasn't the car. I remember John Jones. I remember being at my cousin's house with like 100 people in there because it was the Who Shot JR episode, and it was a huge deal. And I remember like my cousin Lorraine like screaming because it was crazy. Isn't it funny the things that we remember? By the way, if you are too young to remember any of these, I apologize, but this was quality TV. So, Fanny Flagg. Oh gosh. The Bionic Man, the Bionic Woman, Dallas and Knots Landing. Yeah, I didn't watch those a lot, but the Who Shot JR thing was a big deal. So Don Nicholson, that request came from his wife. Knight Rider was my jam. Tom Wopat, bring back Dukes of Hazzard. They made a Dukes of Hazzard bad remake movie. So did I watch it for Bo or Luke? Yes, exactly. So, yeah, the good old days of these TV shows and having the time to watch them. But anywho, that will I think that will do it. This will take care of our trip down memory lane. I want to hold on. Let me see if I can find something here. Let's do this. I'm not sure if this is even playing or not, but I would love for you, if you want to do a couple of things. If you want to share your memories of Stan Lee in the WDW Radio Box People group, you can go on and do that right there. I'd love to know your thoughts. If you're not a member of the Box People community, please do. More importantly, invite your friends. Share it out. Invite them to be part of the family and part of the fun. Don't forget to be part of the Ornament Exchange Go to www.radio.com/exchange18. We'll have links in the Box People group as well. I'd love to hear your thoughts. More importantly, don't forget to share. Tag me so I see it. And next week, anybody who shares out a link to this week's episode, I will randomly select somebody to win a mystery prize package. Tomorrow night, we're going to do this all again, but instead, I'm going to be live at and from Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party. If you are going to be there, let me know. We can definitely try and connect while we're there. And stay tuned, as I'll be there live for the parade, if I can stay awake, the fireworks, and the castle projection show, and hopefully some other fun stuff and opportunities, which will most likely involve food. Thanks again to everybody who is part of the WDW Radio Nation family. I sincerely appreciate you. Stay tuned for your next scavenger hunt and our live video group call. So instead of just watching me and typing your answers, we all get on a video group call together. Sometimes 20, 30 of us get a chance to really chat and talk about some things that we don't chat about here in the Box People group. Again, and don't forget that a portion of the proceeds do go to the Make-A-Wish Foundation of America. Lots of other fun stuff coming up too. I think now, as of today, I think we have only one spot, and it might be one or two spots left for our Adventures by Disney to Japan. Also, don't forget about our cruise, to New Orleans next February 2020. That is going to be a lot of fun. Oh, when we talk about the food, my mind and my heart goes right to New Orleans. Stan Lee, we love you. We appreciate you. We miss you. And you, my friend, I'm talking directly to you. I love you. I appreciate you so very much. And I hope that I will see you tomorrow. I hope that you have a great night. Oh, my gosh, wait, I forgot. Hold on. Oh, these things go so fast. I will play this one. Play a little more Spider-Man for Stan Lee. So thank you guys so very much. And until next time, see ya.